We're going live. Hi, everybody.
Hi, it's just me.
But I don't see it yet. It's not coming up on mine. Hey, there's Dulce. All right. Hi, guys. Hope your summer's going good. We're just going to wait until a few more people come in to the stream, and then I'll set up the problem for you guys to solve. Now, everybody who makes comments to try to help us solve the problem, you automatically get your name in the raffle for a free Starbucks gift card. So be sure to add your comments along the way. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just set up the first problem. If you have a piece of paper and a pencil, that would be great. That way you can solve it along with me. So we're going to solve 217 divided by 2. Now I'm going to draw a long line down here, because this strategy that I'm going to show you is also known as the Big 7. So you can see that our division symbol now kind of looks like a big huge 7. Okay. So the great thing about this strategy is that you only need to know your 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s times tables in order to divide and solve this problem. So what I'm going to do is take the divisor here, and I'm going to look at what would one group of 2 be. Well, we know 1 times 2 is 2. How about 2 groups of 2? We know that's 4. How about 3 groups of 2? That makes 6. How about 4 groups of 2? That makes 8. And how about 5 groups of 2? Okay, that's 10. So what I want is I want to find the biggest number that I can take out of the pile that's inside the doghouse here. Well, 10 isn't very big. So what we can do now is we can use what we know about multiplying by zeros. And if we know one group of 2 equals 20, then how much would 10 groups of 2 be? Okay, all we're doing is adding a 0 here, so we just add a 0 to the answer here. So here, instead of 2, we're going to do 20 groups of 2. So we just take our answer here and add a 0 on the end. If 3 groups of 2 are 6, 30 groups is going to be this answer with a 0 at the end. So 40 groups of 2 is going to be 8 with a 0 on the end. And then 50 groups of 2. Okay, so that takes us all the way to 100. So I want to get to the biggest number that I can pull out of this pile in here. So I'm going to go straight to the number 100. Well, how many groups was that? 50 groups. So I'm going to list my groups right here. 50 times 2 we know is 100. So I'm going to take that out of the pile first. And then we're ready to go ahead and subtract. 7 minus 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And yep, you are, let's see. I was just looking at Dulce's answer. It looks like you are very close. I'm going to keep going with this strategy and see if we come up with the same idea. I still have 117 here, so just looking at all my numbers, the biggest number I have here is 100, so I'm going to go again with 50 groups. 50 groups of 2 is 100, so I'm going to take out 100 from the pile again and subtract to see what's left over. 1 minus 1 is nothing here. Okay, so far I have 50 groups that I've taken out, 50 more groups, but I still have 17. So how many more groups of 2 could I make? So I'm going to look along my numbers here. 20 is too big, so I'm going to come over here and take 10 out of the pile. Well, how many groups is that? That's 5 groups of 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Now I'm down to 7. Okay, I can still take some away. 8 is too much, but I can go right over here and pull 6 more out. So that's 3 groups. 3 groups of 2 is 6. Okay, and we still have this 1 down here. So that'll be our remainder at the end. So over here, these are all of our groups of 2 that we've taken out. And all we have to do is just add these up. So 50 and 50, that makes 100. Plus, we have 5 and 3 is 8. So we have 108. Dulce, looks like you were right. And then we still have remainder of 1. So we can write it like this. Or another way some people will write it is as a fraction. We have 1 left over out of the 2 that are needed for another group. So it could be 108 and a half. And I like how, Dulce, you wrote it as a decimal, so that's awesome. You can write it that way too. Now, later on, using this strategy, pretty soon, if you keep using this strategy, all of this is, this is gonna happen in your head. So you're gonna use mental math to look at the divisor and just think, okay, 1 times that, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And once you get this number, that can quickly bring you to a higher number by simply moving to, instead of 5 groups, 50 groups. Now what I could have done here is I could have taken 50 groups and doubled that to be 100 groups. 100 groups times 2 would just be this number right here, doubled. So I could have immediately taken 200 out of the pile over here. So I'm going to be heading that way with our videos next week to show you the faster way. But I did want to show everybody the way you can start out on paper by just moving through 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the divisor. Because what's going to happen when you get into 2-digit divisors over here, you're going to see how much easier that this strategy is going to be to divide numbers. So, great job, Dulce. Okay, let's try. I'm going to pull this off here and set up one more problem for you to try. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I need to, let me just adjust this a little so you can see the whole pad. Okay, so let's try one more here. What about 452? Now, again, this is going to be a simple problem. It only has a 1-digit divisor. We're going to divide by 3. I'm going to make my big 7 here. And then I'm going to think about this. Now, you can do this part in your head. I'm going to go ahead and just write it down on paper, though. So 1 group of 3 is 3. 2 groups of 3 is 6. 3 groups of 3 is 9, 4 groups of 3 is 12, and 5 groups of 3 is 15. Okay, so now I can use these facts to help me get to a much bigger number than 15 that I can take out of this pile over here. So instead of 1 group, 10 groups would be 30. 20 groups of 3 would be 60. So I'm just grabbing this answer and popping a 0 on the end over here. So 30 groups of 3 is going to be 90. 40 groups of 3 is going to be 120. So 12 with the 0 on the end. And then 50 groups of 3 is 150. Now that gives me a bigger number that I can start pulling out. So I'm going to take 50 groups right off the bat. And I'm going to subtract that. And I'm left with 302. So obviously the biggest number out of all our facts that I can take out again is 150. So that's 50 groups of 3 that I'm taking out of the pile again. And then we subtract. Now look at that. I'm pretty close here. I can take one more group of 50. Okay, and now I'm down to a remainder of 2. That's less than my divisor, so I'm done dividing. And now all we have to do is add these up. So 50 and 50, that makes 100, plus 50 more. We have 150 with a remainder of 2. Okay, so again, over here, I could have taken this. I could have done all of this in my head, came up with 5 times 3 equals 15, and then moved to the 50 groups of 3 for 150. But now I could have taken this 50 and doubled it to 100 groups and taken the 150 over here and doubled that. Now I could have gone faster and just pulled 300 out right away. So next week I'll show you more problems like this where we move here faster to get the problem solved. And again, Dulce, I might have to give you 2 coupons or 2 raffle tickets for getting it right, Dulce. That's awesome. Okay guys, I hope you're having fun in the summer. Join me again. So I'm going to keep this video posted on the page. Tell all your friends to come join us. And I'm going to start up again on Monday. So every day next week at 1 o'clock, you earn another raffle ticket towards the Starbucks gift card. And then I'll be announcing the winner on Friday at the end of next week. Okay? So it's great to see you, Dulce. And we'll see you soon.